What you need in the building? Just chilling on the ground. And obviously, this topic is an interesting one. I really want to just sleep, but I'll talk about this because I want to talk about it. You know, they say empty vessels make the most noise. And it seems apparently that, you know, fans who never threw a punch in their life or never even like did boxing at all. Like he never did fucking boxing. They never threw a punch at all. They say some of the dumbest ass shit you'll ever hear. You know what I mean? And it really bothers me because it's like, I'm really sleepy right now. It's like really like some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard. So most recently, fans who don't like the Charlo brothers said that Jamel Charlo, when he hit Jason Rosario, right? They said that Jason Rosario took a dive. You know what I mean? Like these guys don't know what body punches are, right? Now, it's very rare that you see somebody become so effective with a body punch that they basically cause they knock all the wind out of the person with a body punch. You know that a jab to the pit can do that. I've seen it happen before. But most of the times when guys hit a opponent with a body punch, it's usually either a liver shot or a spleen shot. They hit them to the side of the body. And because they don't see the punch coming, they're not able to brace for it. And when they get hit with the punch, the muscles tighten up and they spasm. It really knocks the wind out of them, right? They can't breathe. And it tightens up so tight that it's very painful. So they stay writhing on the ground, right? Well, what Jamil Charlo did was he basically punched Rosario to the pit area, right? The breadbasket area. And you don't have to punch a person on the solar plexus to get that effect, okay? It's a muscle spasm. The muscles start tightening up and okay? If you get hit in the bladder area, for example, if I get hit low in the bladder area, it still affect me up top, right? In fact, it's strange, but in the abdominal, anywhere in the abdominal area you get hit, it can cause that reaction. Same thing with the liver shot and spleen shot. You get hit in it's really near to the abdominal area, and that causes the diaphragm to contract, and you just can't breathe, right? So being hit anywhere in the abdominal area will produce that sort of effect, especially if the opponent is not bracing for the shot. See, if you tighten up your abs for the shot and you fold inwards, you can catch the shot and brace for the shot, right? That's what Jason Rosario did not do. Anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about these ignorant ass fans that be talking about shit that they don't know what they're talking about, right? And I've been putting them on blast and I've been behaving like a fool up in groups because I find that some people, man, you be talking stuff and you know, they talk with confidence too. And they fuck up the sport, man, because people are not learning what the sport is. Now, if everybody was saying the right stuff, you know what I'm saying? Then you, because like if you look at like other sports, right? Whether it's sprinting or whether it's baseball, whether it's football, right? People can have different opinions on different things, but basically, people understand the fucking sport. They understand what football involves. They understand what baseball involves. They understand what cricket is involves. They understand what sprinting involves, right? They actually got the basic ideas of what the sport is. The only fucking sport I know in the world where a clueless motherfucker can say shit and other people actually believe them is boxing. Like what the fuck? And these people, they open up their fucking mouth. Yeah, okay, you don't like the other guy. All right, sorry about the f bombs, people, but you're gonna have to excuse me right now because I kind of a bit annoyed by some of these stupid, ignorant fans out here. And they're the ones, and they're not just, it's like, man, you have commentators that don't know what the hell they watching at, and they're not qualified because they never boxed a day in their life. Al Bernstein doesn't know what the fuck he was watching. Talking about, oh, it was blocked with his forearm. So we got a piece of his forearm. So what? It's still, you heard it. You heard the impact it made on his abdomen. I mean, god damn it, man. That's some of the things that kind of annoy me a bit. Sorry about the F bombs, people. Um, but this is what I'm going to discuss. I'm going to discuss fandom and how, the one thing, the UK fans, they're much more knowledgeable. Okay, you can tell they appreciate the sport and so on. But the American fans, man, and some of y'all fans from Asia, y'all don't know what the fuck you be watching, man. You don't know what the hell you be watching. And it's so freaking annoying. You try to correct these stupid ass people, and then they go down the road of just illogical stupidity. Okay? And this is why, they like to talk about boxing is dying. This is why boxing takes a blow all the time because of stupid fans like this. Right? It's stupid fans. I don't appreciate that. I really don't appreciate fans who of the sport of boxing who they drag down the sport. They say all kinds of negative things about it. They try to attack certain fighters in the sport. Well, one of my eyebrows are up and one is down. Okay, there you go. It's getting control. Yeah, they try to attack certain people in the sport of boxing, but they really are not saying anything that has to do with boxing. Like they're not coming from a boxing perspective at all, and it really annoys me because all the other sports, you at least know the basic rules to the sport, right? I can understand if a fan is asking a question, but these fans are just not humble at all. And I'm talking about the American fans and some of the Asian fans. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know the sport at all. At all. Okay? You don't know it at all. We got some OGs out there, some old fans. They say they watched the sport for 40 years and stuff, and you still haven't learned shit about the sport, right? You be talking about, oh, these old legends, oh, he had power and y'all don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about, people. You don't understand the ins and outs of boxing. You just don't. I know, and I speak to a knowledgeable fan. I'm speaking to a knowledgeable fan. It's not about being proud, or it's not about opinions in this case. Some things are just downright just not boxing. Like, telling me guy flopped. He did not flop. That is just not making no damn sense. Why would he got knocked down twice before, right? He had the opportunity to flop twice before. This is a unification fight for all the belts. Why would you want to flop in a unification? None of this stuff makes sense. None of it. But to deny Jamel Charlo his credit that he deserves because he caught the guy with a quick, short punch that you didn't think was a spectacular punch, you didn't think was a hard punch, okay? And the guy went down because he got caught off guard and it knocked the wind out of him. Because of that, you want to say these dumbass things? Come on, man. Josh Taylor stopped his opponent as well. You know what they had to say? Oh, Josh Taylor, he didn't actually have a top grade opponent. That guy should never been in the ring with him. I'm like, you don't know the ranking systems of the IBF. Maybe the guy was an IBF mandatory. You don't know who it was that they faced. A lot of people in boxing just open their mouth and bump their gums. They're good at talking. They do very little. And boxing's a doing man sport. And all I say to these people is, why don't you learn some boxing? Why don't you try to throw a jab? Why don't you do your box step? Why don't you go and step in the ring and spar somebody? And then you probably appreciate what these guys do at the highest level that you never will do in your life. I just don't get it, man. I'm not trying to like hate on anybody or anything, but personally, the fact that these guys don't even respect the fighters in there. They don't respect fighters, right? They sit down and just like all these disgusting consumers of products, whether it's movies or whether it's food or whatever, they sit down and they with gluttony they glutton up things. They eat. All they want to be is entertained. And if the entertainment doesn't seem to be to their standard, you could stop a guy, as happened with Jamel Charlo. If they didn't feel the entertainment was to their standard, or they don't like you and they thought the other guy would beat you, right? They start saying some stupid shit. Okay? And this is what's hurting the sport. Ain't nothing else hurting the sport. Even fighters ducking each other not hurting the sport. It's these stupid fans that hurting the sport. And they're not a majority of people. They're like what 13% of the population are boxing fans. Okay? So that's all I gotta say for now. But I just had to vent that because I've been looking through all these sites and all these groups, today and yesterday, and I'm seeing the same stupid, vocal, dumbass fans. The fans that actually have knowledge and stuff, they're not saying much. You guys need to get out there and start talking. And sometimes put these guys to shame too. Shame them. So they will stop saying ridiculous, stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? So they will respect the sport. They don't have any respect for the sport. That's why they just go around and clown world champions, and they go around. I mean, it's one thing to say, okay, this guy was ducking this guy, right? And you actually have evidence of it. The guy was mandatory or whatever. That's totally different. But it's a totally different story. And you still have to be careful how you use the word duck, right? But it's a totally different story when you're moving around spreading a whole bunch of ignorant ass misinformation. You're misinforming people. And the casual fans who don't know anything about boxing, you're not able to educate them on anything about boxing because your information is wrong. Not doing the sport any service by talking like that. And then you say you were a hardcore boxing fan, you've been watching boxing for X, Y, Z years, but you never learned nothing because you never boxed. And then some of these guys who say they boxed before, they got their ass beat. They got beat up so bad that they probably punch drunk. Okay? Some of these boxers, not everybody who's become a pro boxer was a good pro boxer to start with. Okay? And even if they weren't really facing competition. So it's like sometimes you watch some of these pro boxers, guys, even guys who say they trainers. I seen our guy in our group say he's a trainer, but he didn't know the difference. This guy didn't know the difference between um he didn't know the difference between setting up, a jab that could hurt somebody and what did he call it? And what did he call it? He said touching and running or some shit like that. Okay? And I'm like, you're a trainer. God damn, I don't want to be trained by you. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so much illiteracy. There's so much lack of understanding of what happens in the square circle. And I've seen commentators say some dumbass shit like with Casimiro's fight against Micah, right? Casimiro hurt Micah with a body shot. It was a spleen shot. I told you guys that yesterday. And the commentator thought it was the left hook to the head that hurt Micah. And that's the thing with this sport of boxing. You got some guys who never boxed a day in their life, Al Bernstein, etc. Okay, and I like Al Bernstein. At least he's is a guy who's kind of pro boxer, but he don't know what the fuck he's been watching on there. Sorry about the F-bomb again. Okay, he doesn't understand what he's watching. He don't. And so it's like, my God, what are you talking about, Al Bernstein? Okay. So that's the way how the sport goes. And, Roger Mayweather would say, most people don't know shit about boxing. It really is true. It really, well, not most, the people, even so-called hardcore boxing fans, they don't understand what's been going on in the ring. They don't understand what's proceeding in the ring. And that is a travesty. You say you watching a sport, but you don't even know what's going on in the ring in the sport. What's the point of watching the sport? To listen to the commentary on it? You like seeing people hit each other? That's about it? I mean, come on, man. I'm what you need. If you like this video, don't forget to share, comment, subscribe, and donate via Western Union or MoneyGram. Peace.